What's up, everybody? What's up? Um, so we got Jay Lucian in the chat. Well, hello to Maranya. Hello. Jackson Roy Kirk singing hello. And you are totally wrong. He says there's no singing in comics. Cyborg, what do you say about that?
I politely disagree.
But there is a lot of farting in comics, apparently.
Really?
Only at DC.
Yes.
No, the reason I bring this up because I'm not to single out Jay, even though I know I am kind of a little bit. We just read Teen Titans Go to Camp, the final couple of issues or chapters of that story, and there was a giant musical number at the end. So yes, there are singing in comics, and also every Kazar we read on here has singing in the comics. So, all right. Kick their booty, Jackson. Hello. Hello to Imperial Goddess watching us over on Twitch. She's also live right now. As I'm watching her channel, she's watching my channel.
I'm watching our channel.
Are you? That's good.
I'm one of the people who are on the
panel that watches. So
no, but I've got my phone has
so if you want to go follow her on Twitch, and she's also on YouTube at the same URL. Imperial_Goddess. She plays a lot of video games. Sometimes she does karaoke. Cool person. Kind of chaotic a little bit. So, but she's a good person. Hello to Cheeseburger Comics. And then what are we going here? It says the Jackson Roy Kirk. It's all good, man. I really feel I need to pay you back for the shipping. Nah, I'll bill Breen. Wow. How does Breen get roped into your shenanigans? Jeez. Crazy.
I'm going to pistol whip the next person who says shenanigans.
You know what? You don't even own a pistol.
As far as you know.
No, you don't. Shenanigans. I call shenanigans.
What's the name of that bar that you go to with all that goofy shit on the walls?
Shenanigans. That's the name of the bar. Alrighty then, Team Breen. Jackson is channeling his inner J by misspelling team. All right. I got 12 new comic books. Well, one's 2 weeks old. I finally got my copy of Pastime, and I read that this week, so I was kind of happy about that. So, yeah. Let's get this started. Let's get this going. All right, so okay, just might double check. So this is Pastime. Honestly, I thought this was a really well done, decent issue, first issue. They give you a little bit about the vampire or supposed vampire. We know that this guy named Henry taxed a guy in a cornfield, and then he was always being chased by the dogs. Stuff he stumbles across one of the first night games, or their first night game for baseball, and he's he meets another character who's blind at the time, and they have a conversation, and then so this was all back in the 1920s. So, and I think the actual book, the present time, is what, the 50s.
88, 60s? I think it was 88.
Right in there.
It's because it's supposed, if I remember correctly, it's the first game in Wrigley. Isn't that right, Breen?
Yeah.
Yes, and it was ringed out.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that you said that it was historically accurate. So,
yes.
Yeah. Barely decent art in this. I'm actually really digging it, and it is very kind of a pulp. This remember the Brubaker story pulp. But this guy basically approaching the other guy, two old gentlemen, wants to know about the real story about this guy Henry and stuff, and what went on and stuff back in their pastime. So, and he's got information, and then it's just like, and everything's unraveling all at the same time. The mystery is we're being told about what happened in the 20s, but only a little bit, and then we're going back to the 80s, and it's kind of like Interview with the Vampire, how they set up, where they talk first, the old people talk, and then flashback, and then it goes back to the present. So actually, it's pretty cool. And the art's pretty decent. I'm looking forward to the next issue. This is $5 This is cover A.
And the art on this thing is better than some of the stuff that's in the big two these days. I got to tell you.
Yeah. Honestly, the art is it's up to par as far as we just read that other one with the Kosher Mafia. It kind of seems like the same kind of style.
And Dick Tracy.
Yeah. Russell Olson is the artist on this. Joe Harrison, the writer. Honestly, I thought this was really cool. So, if you're a sports fan and you're looking for a new story, and honestly, check this out. So, definitely a really good book. All right, on to the books this week. Coming in first at 11. Just because it's not a bad book, it's just not the Catwoman story I've been wanting. And then my number 11 is Catwoman. It's a story about her being its character name is Evie, and we finally get a little bit more information about what went down and the more information about this family, Anton stuff, and how she got involved with them. They were robbing somebody, and it was supposed to be like a group heist. And this guy named Anton changed the plan the last minute. I don't know where Torren Grunbeck's going with this. Our art is kind of weird. It's kind of cartoonish art for Catwoman.
See, and here's the thing, man. If anyone's watched any movies, you never know. You never go on a group heist. Group heists never go
and
well.
You never interrupt the host on the YouTube channel.
That too. That just makes you an asshole when you do that.
But you didn't do that though. It's good. It's okay. So as I was saying before,
I just did. Ha.
Yeah, but what's new? No, honestly, this whole series is just like, okay, it looks like we're only going to go for like 2 more issues, and then there's nothing like scheduled or on League of Comic Geeks after that. So I think her run's ending and within like 2 more issues, and then Catwoman might just be dropped. It might not be another ongoing title for a while. There's been no announcement as far as I know as far as this, but it's just more. This is not even a Catwoman story. This is a Selena Kyle story, and that's the problem with this story. She rarely is seen in her Catwoman costume. No one refers to her as Catwoman. They refer to her as Evie, and that's pretty much about it. And it's kind of over the place. Like the issue prior to this, issue 74, she was breaking in, she was stealing something, and then she gets knocked out. And all of a sudden we're back into a flashback. It's just like, just finish the damn story at this point. But I'm kind of, like I said, I love Torren Grunbeck, but I said I'm just not feeling this. It should not be called Catwoman. It should have been a miniseries called the Original Sins. Yeah, the Original Sins of Selena Kyle. That would have been the perfect title for the whole entire series. Or When It in Rome Part 2 or whatever. Because honestly, this is not the Catwoman story I've come to love. I love the Chuck Dixon story back in the 90s with Jim Ballant. I like the Joelle Jones in Rebirth. That was really good. Ram V kind of dropped it down a little notch, and then Trini Howard just totally took a shit on it. And this is like, if you wipe the shit off and pretty much and you bleached it, you still don't want it because it's been shit on before. It's not saying she's a bad writer. It's just that I want Catwoman. I don't want Selena Kyle stories. I want Catwoman stories too. And the fact that there's another thing too. She's been on a Gotham this whole entire run. Kind of that defeats the purpose of her character too, because she's always been a Gotham-based character. It's like when they had Batman go to China, or where that was, then with the Batman Inc. thing, I feel like that was Joshua Williamson series, his little 5-issue series. It was just kind of weird. But I don't know. Maybe other people like it, like I said, but it just seems like she's constantly being betrayed, and there's no end in sight for this. And the art is just not that great. For DC, you screwed yourself when you lost your good artists and went for Tumblr art. The cover art is great. Why can't I get that and the interior? Pay out, at least get some decent artists. All right. Nothing about that. Number 10. Hack Slash Body Bags. This has actually been a nice little conclusion to the story. As far as I know, I don't think there's another one. I think they said Finn at the end, if I recall correctly. No, at the end it just says, it says Body Bags will return. But I don't know. I thought it wrapped up decently, but I wouldn't say you should go out and buy every individual issue. I think this is only a 4-issue miniseries as it was. If you do pick up the trade, I would just say wait till it's on discount or clearance, half off somewhere. Because I don't know. It wasn't like the point where it was like preaching to you or any of the other weird stuff like they do with some of the modern books. The art is decent. It's Stefano Casalili with Steve Kurth on there. And then we got Kurt Russell doing the colors. But that's kind of crazy. He has time from acting to do coloring. There was some other like jokes in there too. Borg Babes, Peen Machine, and all that stuff. And that is like, I don't understand the humor of that, but I guess is when you, the sign says, when you choose him, why choose him or the bear when you can choose the Peen Machine, basically the sex robot and stuff. Borg Babes, come get some. Like I said, some of the humor just fell flat for this. But the art does get pretty decent in this. The final confrontation between this father and daughter versus Cassie Hack and Vlad. And it's like I said, it was okay, but not the best. Maybe Breen will have a different opinion on this. All right. We're going to number 9. Flash Gordon. Anybody get this week? Or just me? Breen, did you pick it up?
No, I got it.
Okay. It's the art is wonderful in this. I'm just not liking it as much as I thought I would. And I don't say I don't want to come off like a negative person. It's just that it's a decent story so far. It's setting up for what's going to come as far as the next issue. We finally get to see Dale at the end of this issue. Is it really Dale? Is she brainwashed? We don't know. But we get to see the scientist who's pretty much like, at this point, Dr. Smith from Lost in Space. No matter you count him out, he comes right back. Yeah, and he's on his way to help. The virus is in his system. It's now purged. She's getting ready to go after and help Flash Gordon, who's walking into a trap. Basically, he had met Princess Aurora and her husband, and he's there with this dude and his son, and they're going to sneak into this basically the wedding ball or the pre-ball. The guy's celebrating as far as getting ready to Dale, and he's gonna go and rescue Dale. I mean, that's kind of pretty much the whole entire story. So the art's probably the best thing about this so far. I felt the story, this part was kind of weak. It's not a knock against Jeremy Adams. It's just that this is a part of the story before we get to the big finale stuff. The low point, I'd say. But honestly, it's still a good series. This is cover B by Zach Howard. This was $5. This is Mad Cave. I'm noticing a trend that a lot of the Mad Cave books I pick up are right around $4 or $5. Pretty much $5, I have to say. Because the other one's $5 too, I think, past time. I think so.
Yeah, I think they're all like $5.
Yeah. But here's the difference between this and the DC book. I would still rather read some of these obscure titles than read a lot of the junk that's being put out by DC or Marvel. I just wish it wasn't $5. All right. Number 8 is I Lie Popeye. Issue number 4. Super Mario Brothers 3 variant. I kind of like when they do these parody covers. If you're not reading this and you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z, this is pretty much like a Dragon Ball Z parody spoof they're doing with this. Sweet Pea ends up getting kidnapped in this issue. It turns out Sweet Pea has had like some dormant power that this evil villain, we don't know, his mysterious villain wants Sweet Pea's, and Popeye is battling against Wimpy, who's under the control. Whenever he's knocked out unconscious, this guy's taking over his body. Basically, these two, the brother and sister, work for the same guy, but they failed. So the guy and got this other one, this Green Knight person, who wants to get, who's basically trying to get the job done. Sweet Pea ends up, Vance said he ends up getting kidnapped, and as we see Popeye embracing his wife, a witch down there, and it's more into by how Olive Oil, how she's able to like have a golden wand, because usually, because as the witch says, people who have golden wands usually have a really long line of like sorcery magic powers. And it turns out on her mother's side, there's a lot of like line of this like powerful witches and stuff. Meanwhile, Popeye is pretty much beating up himself, blaming himself for his his son being kidnapped. And then we get pretty much Bluto is kind of like knocking some sense into Popeye, and he's pretty much giving the whole Vegeta speech to Goku. I kind of like it. It's really cool. Like I said, it's a new twist on Popeye, and it's a more like a manga-esque story or anime story to it. If you're fans of the classic Popeye, you probably won't like this. If you're a kid that grew up with reading manga and watching anime, Dragon Ball Z, you might have a little more open-minded toward this. Still a decent issue. And this is through a massive. This was also $5. If you only read Marvel and DC, you have no idea who Massive is. I really recommend that you go out and look out at other shelves that aren't Marvel and DC, because there's a lot of cool independent titles. Number 7 is Conan the Barbarian, number 20, a follow-up to the other issue where we get the Werepanther guy, Zulu, and he's basically as they fight, basically he basically come to the conclusion that they're not enemies, but he wants to help Conan free him from the clutches of the serpent goddess Set. And we get a little bit more flashbacks to him remembering Belit in this. And the only problem I have with this whole entire story is that it takes place after the death of Belit, but they don't say how she died or what killed her or stuff. We just know that she was on a ship, and something happened, and that's it. They don't really go into it. But yeah, we see him killing his bond for the snake god. His guts reopened where he got stabbed from the fang dagger. Yeah, just bleeding stuff, flashbacks. This is Doug Braithwaite. I think this is Braithwaite on this, doing the art on this, returning. This is the last issue before the new story arc. This is for Titan, and this is I think this was for $3.99. This is the Marvel variant kind of thing they're doing. Another fun story, great art. I said, if you guys love just reading sorcery stuff, you love the original Conan movies, it's pretty much kind of the same stuff. Whenever I read Conan on this, I think of Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice every single time. And they're introducing characters that Roy Thomas had brought into the series back in the Marvel days. But like I said, I love the coloring on this. Just the battle, everything. And it's not just because when people think of Conan, some of the books, it's he just goes around and has sex with women and fights. That's it. It's just this is more him being tormented, remembering his past love, and just trying to move on, and deal. And the only the best part about the end of this is the girl who pretty much betrayed them, because the last mission that he went on with his girlfriend Belit. They're gonna try and steal from somebody. Well, this girl betrayed him, took the serpent dagger, after stabbing him, she gets her just desserts as one of the snake people pretty much like kills her. So kind of like a Finn end, almost. Yes, it says at the bottom, Finn, like a bookmark. Is it going to come back? But yeah, I'm looking forward to more Conan. Summer Sub says, she is gone, yet her shadow rides with me, not in flesh, but in the ache between sword and strokes. I forget her name with my mouth, but not with my scars. Yup. Hey, Eloise is in the chat. What's up, Eloise? How's it going? And then we got Henry Jeremick. Yeah. All right. What's up? And anybody else who might have popped in? Hello, Summoner. That's a tongue twister. Summoner. All right, number 6. This book has been moving up slowly as it progresses. This is Thundercats number 14 through Dynamite. This cover D. This was $4.99. Learning more about Mumra, the ever living in this series, and he basically comes attack the Wily Kit, and I forget what the other ones it was. I think it was his regular just Kit or Cat, and Panther ends up basically going up against him, and even though Panther kind of loses, the other Thundercats show up, and let me see anything from the art here. The art is okay with this, but I do like stuff like this when they show grid panels like this. Emotion lines for Cheetah when she moves, or I think it was Chitara. I think it's Chitara. So, they basically are after they basically try to heal Panther. Jaga comes and he brings in some allies. The girl who originally was, we found out was a new character because I don't remember from the show at all. But she returns. She returns with the Sword of Omens, and helps save the day with these robot guys. I think these guys are also in the cartoon back in the day. I don't really know much about them. Like I said, I haven't watched the cartoon in like forever. I think I watched the cartoon. It was within the 90s. So I was like, yeah, born 85. So I was probably like 10 years old, 95. So so I don't really remember a lot of it, but yeah.
85. I graduated in 87. Jesus.
Yeah, you're old. What's your point?
But I'm old.
So with the help of these guys, the allies, they basically finished the base. So now the base is actually finished. Remember the cartoon. And they're still looking for Lionel, because Lionel has disappeared. Mumra says that he has him held captive, but they don't really believe Mumra because Mumra lies all the time. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what's more going on with this, because like when this story was taking place a couple of 3 issues ago, it felt very stale. In fact, I think it was just 2 issues ago, or even the last issue, where it was just a silent issue. There was no dialogue. It was all about Snarf, who's okay in the cartoon, but I don't want a whole entire story just about Snarf. I don't give a shit about Snarf. I care more like Lionel with the freaking sort of omens and all, and the Thundercats, taking the fight against whether it's the goblins, or the monkey in his army, or even the Voltarians. Like, I want something other than that, than this is getting Snarf. All right, top 5 this week. All right. Number 5. Grimm Fairy Tales. I didn't realize the time. This is actually Sela, I think Sela Mathers. Her name is Sela. She's the main kind of like the Snow White of the Xenoscope universe. But she got turned into a vampire. At least we're told that she got turned into a vampire in this. But because she got bitten last issue. This is usually her on the cover right there. They draw her. That's supposed to be Sela. She's supposed to like the main character in the Grimm Fairy Tales. But yeah, we get to learn more about as far as the character, the witch and stuff, how she came to be, or not the witch, but the vampire girl, and yeah, just a lot of just basically like. Well, one more to describe this book is this: yay, girl power, but not in the cringe sense, not the Katy Perry coming out of the fake, you know, what you want to call it, spacewalk or not, or space, exploration, or what she did for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, she went up on a thing that looked like a big vibrator and went up for 10 minutes and came back down.
It was a giant big boy, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Honestly, like I said, it's just fun. It turns, and we get to learn more about Sailor's powers. The fact that even though she got bit by a vampire, she didn't turn because her powers protected her. And other characters that are introduced in here too. I don't really read a lot of Grimm fairy tales, the main universe. I'm very picky in as far as which ones I read because not all the characters are interesting. It's a hit and miss for me. But the reason I picked this up because it has Liesel Van Helsing in this. And also, Marani says, way too much info in there, Geekeasy. Marani, if you're on Twitter or just anything news, they're talking about that, the whole the Katy Perry thing. And all just how vapid it was and fake. Even when they landed, like there's audio of the girls screaming because they thought they were gonna die. And at the end, one of the girls was gonna open up the pod door, and they quickly closed it. Said, no, Jeff Bezos has got to open it because it was Jeff Bezos' rocket ship. It wasn't even. I don't think it was even SpaceX. So it's kind of funny. But like I said, overall, art of this get a happy ending. Well, one of the girls actually thinking they're the rescue ends up being turned into a vampire, but she keeps her whole entire humanity switch on. So pretty much it leaves you the cliffhanger for the next issue, which is going to have featuring I forget what her name is. She's basically the leader of the undead, but this is her, or this isn't her. This is the villain or counterpart. But I think they start the M Mystique or something. I can't remember. But fun book. Like I said, I like vampire stories. Happy ending. Not the happy ending you get with the massage, but all right. Number 4 is Sonic the Hedgehog. Through Isaac Johnson through DC. This was $3.99. This is issue 2 of 5. Darkseid pretty much wants control of the Chaos Emeralds, but they're not going to let him have it. Sonic and is pretty much, if you watch the movie versions of Sonic that came out, the live action stuff, this is that same Sonic with his same kind of like banter and everything. He discovered the Mega Beans for the first time, and him and Flash are coming to give some banter. Meanwhile, the rest of them are battling the forces of Darkseid's like minions, and they do find a way to track this as far as emeralds. Batman and Shadow have been teaming up to go against one of the guys. I can't remember what his name is. Steppenwolf. That's what it was. They challenged Steppenwolf, and Shadow just beats the shit out of him. Now, some of you were like, "Well, that shouldn't be it because it's a Sonic book. It's not a Justice League book. It's Sonic with the Justice League, in a sense. It takes place on Sonic's world. Darkseid's whole plan is basically get the Chaos Emeralds to power his dimensional world dimension engine, because he wants to conquer all the multiverse. That's his goal. Yeah. And what's up to Honorable D-Bag? Watching this over on YouTube. He's also got a channel over on Twitch. He plays a lot of video games. If you want to check him out, it is Honorable D-Bag over on Twitch. Cool guy. Sub him up over there. Honestly, like I said, this is very much a kid's book. So if you are not, if you feel like you're not like the demographic, that's okay. I'm a big kid at heart, so I kind of love Sonic stuff. Yeah, it's just been a fun story. You even get when it comes to Dr. Eggman, basically regrettably teaming up with Sonic, and then you get Sonic and Flash kind of making fun of him, and then and him getting offended. At the end, pretty much the Justice League are about to lose, and because they can't defeat Dark Side, they end up sending the Sonic and his friends through a boom tube to Earth, the Watchtower. And Mr. Triffids is like, what the fuck? So that was really cool. And dude, D-Bag, you're welcome for the shout out. Problem. So all right. Number 3. Dick Tracy. This is also through Mad Cave. This is also $5. Yeah, I think Mad Cave books all are $5. I'm not figuring it out. I never really paid attention. I figured they were like $4, but $5. Kind of a really cool issue as far as this. You get to learn more about the blank. You get to learn more about the red herring. Yes, that his partner Pat is not the guy who's going around killing the criminals, but they do find a pattern.
And one of you two called that last month. Was it? You said that was it you or was it Breen that said that?
I said it wasn't him.
No, yeah, right. It was you were saying it was one of you who said that it wasn't him. So that was you that said that, right?
Yeah, I said that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Breen agreed with me too.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, because why would that'd be kind of weird if they frame him up and be him? It'd actually be him. My goal, what I think it might be, is like I'm still convinced that the young rookie cop in this is involved somehow.
The one with the scar on her face?
Yes.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
But like I said, if you like detective stuff in this and you don't want to read a Batman title, but you kind of like just want like a mystery, kind of like a noir thing, this is really cool. And this plays out like something you'd be watching Humphrey Bogart in, Dansby Trouble. And yeah. Because even get the blank shows up and attacks the former chief, who from the very first arc, and this lights him on fire and throws him out of the freaking building. It's just disturbing. And what threw me off is because I was watching this, like the first thing I noticed is like after they're talking, immediately, yeah, the female rookie cop shows up. Now this could be coincidence. That could be another red herring. But I really think that she's involved somehow. Because she's like Detective Tracy is like, oh, and like he's Officer Girl. She's like, I came as quickly as I overheard. Oh my God, Chief, they got him. And she says they got Brandon. Yeah, funny. And she's like, when will it end, Pat? When will this all end? And she's all like, and then she kind of gets a little angry, a little noise there. So honestly, at the end, we find out that, well, the blank is kind of upset, and he's going to target Dick Tracy now because Dick Tracy finally confirms his feelings for Tess Trueheart with the blank watching. I said I'm looking forward to this, and because ain't the first time we've had a woman dress up as a guy, to throw people off in comic books and in media and stuff. Looks pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Because next issue 10, it says the Blink is finally revealed. And who will it be? We gotta wait till May, though. So, all right. Alrighty. Top 2 books. World's Finest. Issue number 38. It's no secret I have not been buying this book. I even said it on Tuesday. I just haven't been buying it lately. It just didn't interest me the last story arc, and I needed a book to drop so I could save some money. Mainly because other books are coming out. And so because this is a part 1 of, I guess, like a 6-story event. Crossover between this and, what's it called? Just like Unlimited. So I wanted to actually check it out. I love Mark Waid's storytelling in this, and as far as I think Dan Moore still on the art in this? I think he is. Usually says on the cover. Oh, it's something like his last name's Henry. This was, and it said this is because it's a Batman title. It's probably gonna be like $5. I can't remember what it was. What does it say here? $4 actually. So ain't that bad. But it starts off with Hal Jordan testing a new prototype jet for Wayne Industries, And Clark and Bruce are just sitting talking. He's like, he's like, oh, he's like, you probably didn't know this, but when Hal tests the new plane, he doesn't put his Green Lantern ring on it because Bruce is like, oh, if anything goes wrong, he'll save the plane. He's like, nope, doesn't have his ring, and then something starts happening, and so Hal says like, oh, screw this. Sorry, Wayne, your plane's a piece of crap. I'm not gonna save it, and lets it blow up and just destroy. But then the problem is you see it real closely. Hal ends up disappearing. I don't know where he is. He went off the radar. Of course, this leads to Grodd and Gorilla City. In this particular time period in the Silver Age, it's revealed that the Flash has been holding a secret. He didn't tell the rest of the league that Gorilla City exists and with Grodd and stuff. Now, I don't know where exactly in point in time this is. I know it's a throwback to the Silver Age stuff. So there might be some discrepancies. Breen could probably tell you. He's probably more knowledgeable about that. But I did like the story going on this. Also, we're getting previews for Hush, which comes out next week. Looking forward to that too. But like I said, if you love like Gorilla City and stuff, and you just love just adjusted like humor and stuff, it's been a fun series. For me, it's growing up in the 90s. I love they have Titan coming back with the kryptonite eyes. And then you also have it's a throwback to the Justice League Unlimited as far as cartoon series back in the day. It's the stories they tell. They find Hal Jordan, and just meanwhile, it's revealed, and this is kind of crazy about this. Grodd ends up trading his conscience with Superman's body. His whole goal was basically to take over Superman's body. We don't know why or whatever, but it doesn't work and it flops. Yeah, like I said, it's a very fun story. And it does and ties into the last panel will tie into what goes on as far as with Grodd and the whole entire Legion of Doom, and going into chapter 2, which is Justice League Unlimited number 6. Which I'm not going to show you because I want you guys to read this for yourselves. Check it out. It's really cool. It's a really cool book. So, yeah. And my number 1 book of the week is Redcoat, number 11. Another fun series. The Northerner is not who I thought he was going to be. I don't know if I think we've seen a preview of him before in another book. Maybe it was Geiger. But this guy can time travel. So that's kind of cool about this, because and this will help further know later with Jeff Johns. Like, he introduced a character with certain abilities, which will later on pander out. Not forgetting any detail. Brian Hitch's art on this is just fantastic. Takes place during the Civil War. Simon Peter pretty much says, I don't give a shit about either side. I just want to make money off of both of them, which is kind of very Clint Eastwood in a fistful of dollars. Doesn't care. Art is really good on this. And these 2 Confederate soldiers are in a bar, saloon, talking about this satchel as documents. So basically, help the South win the war. This girl who pretty much hates them, and because they're forced slavery stuff, ends up stealing the satchel, being chased, and she's about to be lynched and stuff. And the Northerner comes out, and with his and he shows up there. He's got a satchel, basically a duffel bag full of guns. And they start talking smack to him, and he's like, calling him boy and stuff, and he just puts him down. So apparently he's not worried about changing the timeline by killing people in the past. So, but for the foremost, he ends up burning the satchel. This girl's asking what it was, and then Reeve says, like, well, who cares about that? What's more important is I need you to help me track down Simon Pure. The other thing I noticed is that he has a bookmark. It's what's his bookmark? It's a bill, and she said it looks like Jefferson Davis on there. And he says, don't worry about that currency. So something happened where Jefferson Davis became president, or at least the money he has.
Well, he was the president of the South, and they did have money.
Yeah,
And Jefferson Davis was on the bills. That's a
But I don't
It's a
know.
running joke for cheapskates.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. But I wasn't know if like if that's going to apply into further. No, that's why he's destroying because the South won. You know.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't know. But yeah, it's just the Brian Edge just gets to do these 2-page splash pages. I love these. And and then you get the humor in this for Jeff Johns. Also, something triggers his his memories, his powers, and it's the Northerner. So the Northerner has some kind of effect on him, which is interesting. Because the last time his eyes glow like that, he's going to explode pretty much. But instead, gets humbled by the Northerner. Northerner says he needs him for some kind of mission. And at the end, he says like it says next War and Peace, but the piece is scratched out. It says so. Looking forward to this. Like I said, Jeff John always delivers. Brian Hitch's art is just awesome on this. And I get the little dossier on the Northerner about who he is. First appearance was Junkyard Joe, number 6. I know I was gonna say I remember I've seen him. That was the first volume. Yeah. All right. And I guess they're selling coffee now. So I don't know how that helps it. It just feels like a stupid YouTube trade that a lot of these YouTubers are doing. Oh, buy my coffee. I have coffee now. Black Rifle Coffee. Get this coffee. Here's the thing. I only have a problem with this whole entire Ghost Machine, though. I need more of the timeline filled in. They tell you, the monster. Who's the monster? Is that Junkyard Joe? We got Widow X has a revenge. Who's Widow X? Still don't know who that is. There's an unknown war erupts. I mean, I guess this is when we look back 10 years from now, maybe they'll have this completed. But until then, it's just kind of like, wow. What's that? RDV is still going. Oh, right. That's the first 90 bits isn't up. Yeah. Oh, Jackson, did I hit the block button by accident? My bad. All right. And that's it for me for the week. I do have some back issues, but I'll show those afterwards. Who wants to go next? Jeff, do you want to get out of here? Or I don't know if you have to take medicine or something for your knee yet.
No, I'm good. Let me just
So I only have 3 or 4 back issues, which I could quickly show off.
Yeah, let me just do that real quick, and then I'll I'm putting a couple things away here real quick.
All right, sounds good. All right. So I managed to pick up issue 5 of Adventures of Robin Hood, Geeky.
Wow, that's a couple years old.
Yeah, 1974.
Oh, I thought it looked older than that, but
no. Very cool issue. Actually, me and the Lester sisters and Maranya recorded the first issue of this last night, so that'll be in a future reading airing. This is only $4 for this. I was like amazed. Here's something Breen will like. I did tell you I had a first appearance character I picked up.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah. So I got this. This is what $40? Too bad. Pretty decent issue. So, and then that's it.
Very cool.
And then I wanted to continue it because I've been collecting the series, so I got some more issues of the series. I don't have issue 4. These are a little pricey. This is $8 for this one. I don't know why, but I guess because it's a little print number probably. Number 6 was a little bit more expensive for this one. This ran me around $12. But I love this guy. I love this kind of like Western humor stuff. And then the rain coming down on this, and then you got the guy getting ready to take him out after he just buried his parents. Little doll there and stuff. So like I said, I'm getting more into the Western stuff. Maybe they'll get Micah to come back. But alrighty then, that's it for me tonight.
But I'm guessing we're not getting Zach tonight.
I gotta reach out to him, see what's going on with him, because I thought he would have been here by now.
Yeah, Zach time isn't this late, but
Well, if he's running on Angleton time,
maybe. I don't know what
we
I
don't
don't
know.
know Angleton time, so
Well, whenever he shows up.
yeah, okay, that sounds about right. Let's see. I have 9, but 2 of them. This would be just because I wanted this in singles. I've read it in the trades, so no need. And they had this for me in my box, and they said, "Do you have this?" I said, "I don't think so." And if I didn't check my app on my phone when I got home, I found out I already had it. So anyway,
Oh, cool. I get 2.
yeah. But okay, that was 9, 8, 7. Hexiles number 6.
Cool. You're the only one who got it because of my. In other words, Breen had the shot, but I think Breen dropped the title.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I finished it. I'll need to go back and look. And then just because Spider-Man number 1. So he's out. Let's do this. He's out.
Last week's issue. Yep.
This is last week's?
Yep.
Really? You review this thing?
A lot of people did.
Okay,
The
never
bad
mind.
art.
I thought this was this week's, but it was okay. I'm not gonna get the next one.
See, that's that good. It's brand new day all over again. That's what it is.
Hey, someone's been watching some stuff. Summoner. Okay, then the next is Flash number 2. Absolute Flash number 2.
Nice.
And they actually had, so I had to get some new bags this week, and it turns out they have the self-sealing, which I love. We have him becoming more with figuring out more about his powers. He's being chased by the Rogues Gallery, and they're after him. He's like, "Leave me alone." So the art is a little weird.
It's more of so last issue's story was, with a little bit more information about Barry.
Yeah, and then Wally is still alive in this one. I guess because they haven't jumped forward yet. And he's in this weird outfit. So turns out Barry and Wally's dad do not get along.
Well, yeah, we knew that in the first issue, but it's revealed as it's confusing about this whole entire issue is the fact that is Barry alive or is Barry dead? Because Wally remembers him being dead.
Yeah. And so it kind of goes back and forth, and this actually has a Grodd in it as well.
He's a
like,
baby Grodd.
Yes.
It's a little spider monkey. It was weird.
Yes. Yeah. Every time I see Spider Monkey like that, I think of the movie Dead Alive. But yeah. 4. Detective Comics number 1096, which is the ending of this storyline about the youth serum. Well, not really youth serum, but it was something that you inject that will make you not appear younger, but it'll, rejuvenate your body, make it a little bit younger. And there was questions as to whether, about Martha Wayne and all that stuff. It was really kind of, Tom Taylor is dealing with the family and all that other happy shit. But number 3, Dick Tracy number 9. Really liked it. And of course, I was thinking near the end that yes, that new cop has something to do with it, or else he wouldn't be featured so predominantly in it, because why just have some street cop featured so predominantly in the story if they're not important? And then number 2, World's Finest. I like this one better than I like JLU. Sorry. if I had to just drop one of the two between World's Finest and Justice League United, I'd do the United.
Well, that's because it's written more towards adults than the Justice League Limited is more aimed towards the fans of the '90s show.
Yeah. And then number 1, Red Coat. I agree with you. Really great. And then yesterday, as a treat for going to the gym for the second time since getting my knee done, I stopped by Barnes and Noble, and I wound up picking up this movie.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, it's
That's not Underworld.
no, but it's Clive Barker's Underworld, and it's different is right. I'm not all the way through it yet. I'm maybe about halfway through it.
I'm guessing it has nothing to do with the actual Celine stuff.
No. This came out this came out in 1985.
Okay.
And this is
So it's 40 years old.
this is very, very, very 80s. You know, it has the 80s aesthetic. It's got the clothing. It's got it's just and it's Clive Barker. It's a little weird.
I like it. I like it. Back the styles they had for the children back in the day was like the Dennis the Menace shirts, like the orange and the white stripes going across. I was like, yeah,
and the dialogue is just
every kid was a ginger and these bright ginger freckles in their face.
the dialogue in this thing is not exactly top notch, but I'm just like, okay, it's gonna be more of a guilty pleasure by the time I'm done with it.
How much do you pay? Because I saw that's a Blu-ray, right?
It's 4K.
4K, so you end up paying like $125.
It's 4K and DVD. It's $39, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it's worth it.
Yeah. Well,
it's pricey.
Yes, but yeah, that's movies these days. Of course, if I thought about it, I probably could have just
Watch
come
on
back and
YouTube.
see if it was on like Prime, which I'm already paying.
Or
ass load for every year, but
well, sometimes those movies are on YouTube for free.
yeah, it's true. But,
Daily Motion as well. Yeah. All right, so that's it then.
That's it.
All right, Mr. Breen, are you all set? Bringing Coco to the stage now.
Give me a minute.
All right, we'll give him a minute. Jackson says, I think that's number 6 is the last issue. It is not. I think 7 or 8 is the final issue. And all righty there, Breen.
All right. Pick this up.
And yes, guys, he is wearing pants.
Fantastic Four facsimile. Number 7, Exiles.
Oh, you did pick it up.
Yeah, they basically make a deal with a demon to take out the demon that's been,
killing them.
Yeah, trying to kill them. And then they realize that there's more demons that need to be killed, so maybe they should go look for them. So there may be a sequel.
I thought you gave up on that, so you just had to finish it?
I quit the one that's Dark Empty Void.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then we have the book that I previewed online and said no.
Yeah, I saw that advertisement and I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah, it's camera still from where knocked it out twice. All right, number 6, Summer of Superman special. This just did not do a thing for me.
You want to remind me of? Remember the annual they had for Jessica Jones and Luke Cage marriage? But they try to channel that, but then they
not really, because that was
a bigger event, I'd say.
Yeah, but this was
felt forced.
This was kind of like giving you a taste of what the Superman universe is going to be like going forward. And
yeah, which I'm done with.
I just don't like it. I mean, I'll keep reading. I think Joshua Williamson gets it.
Yep.
But Mark Waid is so in love with the Silver Age.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got
the whole Lana story was just
the scene where Lana, John, Lois, and Clark all go fly off to fight the bad guys because they've all got superpowers.
Oh yes.
I'm just no.
You know what my favorite part was when he talked about global warming.
Yeah, I wouldn't even pay attention.
And this, well, a lot of people are complaining, even on the Glee Comic Gates. A lot of people are not happy. Said we understand 1%. Okay, global warming is a real life issue, but don't put in a book where people have superpowers could end it within 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's why I was never in favor of 9/11 being a part of comic book.
There's people who don't want Lana with superpowers anymore. Take them away.
Well, Lois.
I
don't think anybody cares about Lana, but I agree on both.
Yeah.
Number 5, Hack Slash Body Bags. This is fun. Just balls out action. And I thought this was kind of the weakest of the 4 issues, but what the hell. Number 4, World's Finest. Very much enjoyed this. This was a good first part to the crossover, and I think I think I like this better than Justice League 2 because there's less characters. Justice League Unlimited just feels like I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. It's like I hope at some point they pare the lineup down a little bit, but that's neither here nor there because we're talking about World's Finest, and we already talked about that. So that was number 4. Number 3, Red Coat. It was good at the top for me if this is number 3.
Wow.
But 3 of my 4 favorite books came out yesterday, so that's...
I'm trying to think what other 2 books.
Pretty easy to figure out. This... I was just reading Jackson's comment. Anywho, as we talked about this too, I really enjoy this book. I said the art is stunning. I mean, I said I like Brian Hitch is the best artist working today, and getting a monthly dose of him, I will take. And I said this book just keeps getting better. Number 2, Flash Gordon.
Okay.
I said Mad Cave has Will Conrad on a book. He has to miss a few issues, and his replacement is every bit as good. I mean, the only other time I think of that's happened recently is you saw what happened to World's Finest when Dan Mora left, and until they brought in Clayton Henry, who's, in my opinion, every bit as good as Dan Mora, if not better. But Tom Derenick, more than like I said, his art didn't miss a beat. And the other thing is Ultimate Spider-Man, where their fill-in artist is about 85% of Marco Cicchetto. So I said this. I'm really interested to see what happens. I think Dale's going to try to kill him, but I don't think Dale's in control of her marbles. So I think but we'll have to wait another month to find out. And number 1, Dick Tracy. This just keeps building to a phenomenal climax, which I think they telegraphed the girl with the scar. So I don't know what rabbit now I'm starting to think, okay, maybe it is Pat. Who knows? Guess we'll all be surprised, but more than likely is the girl. But that's we're going to find next month. And I said, it's just the relationships between, Dick and Tess and, Dick and Breathless. This is just a very well done book. This, I said, this is, for let's see, I always forget who's, Alex Segura, who doesn't have the greatest track record.
No.
This is, I said, Space Ghost is the only book I like better than this on a monthly basis.
Scarlet Sisters, I did not care for that. It was hot trash. But he's made up for it though.
And what's his name? David Pepos' Punisher series is dreadful.
Yep.
So they're both absolutely killing these titles, and
like I said, we always talk about it may not be the writer, it might be the editorial, what they want, what you cannot do.
yeah.
But it also might be, well, it also could be the fact that maybe the editorial is saying holding them back, and that's why they're doing better on this than Dynamite. You know,
Maybe
Mad Cave wants.
Maybe Alex Segura didn't give two shits about the Scarlet Sisters, but really loves Dick Tracy.
Could be that too. There's all different factors in this.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Getting into what we got here. Henry Jermick saying, when I asked you your favorite comic book cover, Breen, you gave me an excellent pick, Silver Surfer number 4. But isn't Gil Kane your favorite artist? I was expecting a Kane cover.
Well, my favorite album of all time is Born to Run, but my favorite song is Rosalita, which was on the album before that. Maybe not the best analogy, but Silver Surfer 4 has been my favorite cover since I was a kid. There's just something about that was just magical. You know, the colors,
Was that the one where it's him and Thor?
Yes. And John Buscema is, I think, is one of the best covers he ever did. And I said, as much as I love Gil Kane, I can't think of a Gil Kane cover that I like as much as that. I said, I can't explain why, but I've owned the book 3 times, and it's been my favorite comic book cover since the 70s, and nothing's ever knocked it off.
Is the Miss Marvel, is that John or is that Sal? The art. John. Okay, I thought so. Yeah, he's pretty good at when it comes to drawing women and guys. No, he doesn't hold back. It's like I like when artists are able to actually make characters look more human. I'd say than other than just going into whatever this new cartoonish style is. Like if you're drawing a manga, okay, then you could get away with the cartoonish stuff. But if you're drawing like a comic book, some of this, like, I don't want the manga, the giant eyes. I don't want, I want the weird stuff like that, exaggerated. I mean, I wanted actually, like, if you're writing a serious story, I want serious looking characters. And unfortunately, you don't get that much at Marvel these days, or even DC for the most part. As I said, when it came to Spider-Man artists, Marco Cicchetto, I honestly think is the only one today that could probably hang out with like Romita Sr. and some of the greats back in the day.
Who was?
Marco Cicchetto.
Oh, yeah.
The way he draws Peter Parker.
Yeah, he's very good. But the Silver Surfer, the last time I picked it up, it had paint all over the cover. So I got it dirt cheap, and I'm on the fossils, and I was going to ask. Night Tiger is good friends with a guy named Jerry the Jitterbug, who is great at cleaning comics. So I'm just sitting there killing time, waiting to get to talk to Mike, and I'm just like scraping the cover, and 90% of the paint came off. So I didn't have to send it to him, which turned that book into one hell of a bargain.
I thought you were going to say then the cover came off.
No.
It's like...
No, I got damn near all of it off of there.
That's good.
Because, honestly, without the cover, it's a great story, but I have the story in 3 other...
trade
a hardcover. I've got the Fantasy Masterpieces, which was the reprint series of Silver Surfer. So, the cover was everything as far as that book goes.
Yeah. So I reached out to Zach, but let's see here. Oh, Zach said he's not showing up. He just says to take care of his sick girlfriend.
Well, she's sick a lot.
I know. I'm like, well,
she is dating Zach.
Well, my thing is, thanks for the heads up, right?
If I were going to take care of the woman I loved who wasn't feeling well, getting a hold of us would not be a priority.
Yeah. I just like the heads up would be nice. So now I'm just wondering, like, did he just blow us off and say, like, I don't want to be here? Like, if that's the case, let me know, But I'm like, a lot of us are like, hey, it's not like someone not to show up with no word whatsoever. It's like we think the worst because we've actually had YouTubers who've died or just gone off the grid. Like I said, God bless Tito, wherever he is, but haven't heard from that guy in about 4 or 5 years now.
Nope.
And most likely did die, or he just got sick of YouTube and just does cut out social media. There are people who do that too. Geekery Dante, that's the other guy. We haven't heard anything from him. He hasn't uploaded anything either.
No, I don't think we're on planet Earth anymore.
Yeah. So with that being, unless anybody has any more comments or questions, we might just end it early today. And thanks for the info, Eric Breen. I appreciate it. Said Henry. Actually, the interior art of Silver Surfer number 4 is great, as well as Buscema's panel designs. Very Bern Hogarth-ish. Stanley bitch at him about it.
Yeah, I agree, but like I said, I already have the story in its entirety. I mean, I've got it. Like I said, I've got the Silver Surfer Masterworks in that reprint. So, but I want if I'm going to have the original comic, I need the cover, and I said I was able to basically get the cover back into shape. So that was nice because that's a 4-figure book in mint.
Cheeseburger Comics saying my pickup for this week was the Pharaoh trade paperback volume 1. Cool. Hope you enjoy it. It's been a series I've been really enjoying, and like I said, that's straight up like Disney Aristocats, but with like introducing rabies. So it's kind of like, what the heck? Which I've always said is like, whenever you're gonna have anything that happens, there's never anything like negative Disney stuff. Everything's always positive, happy, cheering stuff. That's why when they came out, like they had Itchy and Scratchy and all this stuff, making fun of Tom and Jerry and some of the stuff. It was kind of like, wow, this is kind of cool. All right. Any other comments or concerns or questions or complaints? All right. This chat is dead except for Henry Jermick asking questions. We do appreciate it, though. Breen is like a sponge full of knowledge. If you're looking for question stuff, yeah. Jackson Woodkirk, no comics for me lately. I've been trying to put a dent in the reading piles I have first. Dude, I hear that. I've been trying to go back and read a lot of old stuff too. There's stuff I bought from Angleteen's auction I'm still reading. It's kind of why I took a break from the auction, not bidding as much. So it works out right now that he's serving as my storage unit for the box of the comics I bought, so I can like make room and read some more stuff. And plus I'm picking up trades of comic books too, and so it's like it doesn't help. Every time I buy new stuff, it's just like, all right, do I want to read the old stuff now? Well, I read the new stuff. Now I'm tired. I'm done reading. My eyes can't take anymore. I need to like do something else, move around, get the heart pumping. But Change Street Title 2, we trash Zach for not being on again. Well, and how's it going, little Rhaegar? I'm listening while doing other things. Is it watching I Love Comics? Are they streaming it still? No. But no, I enjoy hanging out with you guys. Geekeasy, I don't get to see you that often. See you once a week. It's court ordered, but it's still,
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the opposite of a restraining order.
Well, that's the rest of the restraining order. We can only
true. But we don't want to go to the minutia of it all.
So I was like getting the Alaskan update reports. Meanwhile, Alaska, is there still snow on the ground?
Hardly. There's not much. And it is right now, it is 1820. It is, according to my computer, 48 degrees. 48 degrees. 1820.
I guess you go military time. Yeah, it's like 1820. How are you on the internet in 1820?
I'm special. I'm a time traveler, like that guy from Rick. And speaking of Flash Gordon, guess who I get to meet in 9 days?
Oh, Jim Adams.
Sam J. Jones.
Oh.
I met him our first comic convention, but he's coming back up, and my friend that I go with is he wants to meet him. So
Yeah, cool.
every time he comes on stage, they play Flash Gordon. I'm sure he's sick of hearing that damn song.
Well, if he's getting paid, obviously, I guess it's worth it, right? It's currently actually, I was looking at it. My thermometer says 52 degrees outside. So
I'm only 4 degrees.
yeah. It's we had a high of 60 today, and it was raining. It's to rain all the rest of the week until like Monday or Tuesday. I think Saturday is the first day with no rain. So I'm just looking forward to all the grass cutting I'll be doing in the next month.
That's one of the good things about having an apartment,
right? Henry Jermick says, I have a 12 by 18-inch metal plate of the Silver Surfer #4 cover.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Hey, the guy looks pretty good for his age. I mean, he stays in shape.
If they brought him in for a Flash Gordon remake, I'd have him be Flash's dad.
Yeah, but I mean, the guy, the last time I saw him, which was a while ago, he was in really good shape. I mean, just a little older, but of course, he's a Marine, so they always stay in shape. They don't get fat like some of us do.
Well, it's also encouraged by them. They as you get older in your age, you kind of want to be more lean and stuff because we don't deal with, especially if it helps if you're an active person, And here's the other thing too: is some of these guys that are still in shape is because they don't have any health issues.
And speaking of not being fat and stuff, I'm down 105 pounds. So from my height.
From just working out, or just you cutting out food. What's going on?
Working out, cutting back, and then being sick every once in a while, and
you're going the puking.
No, that's one thing that I'm thinking about doing is just bulimia, but I haven't gotten to that point yet, just because
bulimia's not for everybody.
No, it's a special breed of person. I don't think I'm that type of breed yet.
You got to have the guts to do it.
Yeah, yes, you do. No pun intended, or pun intended, depending on where you're going.
Stroll Gordon instead of Flash. I don't know. It's I kind of want some of these IPs to come back with movie properties or TV series, but not with current days Hollywood. I would not want that.
No, because they'd ruin it. I mean, people are talking about remaking. I saw a thing online, someone saying, at this point they're going to remake Blazing Saddles, and it's like, no, there's no way in hell they would.
They couldn't. Yeah. There's no way no, they wouldn't. Yeah.
But that is one of the funniest movies ever made. And I've seen there's a little meme on it where they talk about the TV edit of it, where they show the opening song, and then it cuts right to the end.
Oh, I follow Sarah Frazetta on Twitter. Frank Frazetta's I believe his granddaughter, right?
Yes.
Yeah. She started her own publishing company in Florida. Frazetta Girls. So you might see them launching some new books,
Yeah, I've seen that
on the publishing.
Buster Crabbe was Buck Rogers, and he actually appeared on the Buck Rogers TV show. So,
yeah, I was watching I got recommended some video for was that Buck Rogers in 25th Century? I think it was the TV series with Wilma.
Yeah, with Gil Gerard, and there was an older pilot.
They're trying to say the reason it got canceled because they said the word "funky you" or something, or "funky gnarly" or something. And people thought they said the F word. But I doubt it. But I mean, the show popularity probably went down when they probably decided to switch some of the production stuff. Yeah,
and also Gil Gerard was kind of, from what I hear, hard to work with. He did not like the direction that they were going in the second season.
Well, no, I mean they changed the whole entire, I guess, from the overview of the series, changed from the very first direction. So they moved it and they changed it. Yeah. And a lot of fans did not like it.
Yeah. And they really kind of toned down Wilma, made her kind of a little, And then the robot and stuff, it was horrible.
Well, they had another hot blonde they brought in, right? but that was about it.
I still think Ardala is the best one of the two. I don't.
Right. So,
But that's just me.
who did like the second season?
And
Hey,
there's only one Hawk on TV, and it wasn't the little pretend bird guy on Buck Rogers in the 25th Century.
no.
It was
It's-
Avery Brooks in Spencer for Hire.
No, the only Hawk there is in Cobra Kai. Get it right.
Which I also get to meet in 9 days.
Cool.
Yeah.
I want to meet Tori Nichols.
Yeah, she's probably more expensive to come up than he is, and
Yeah. I mean, who wants to go to Alaska unless you're Parker Schnozzle and you're looking
Well,
for gold?
tell you what, when I worked at Hertz, I was talking to people. If this is on their bucket list, there was people. This is the 50th of 50. I've been wanting to come up here for years, and people just loved it. And they said, "You must be so lucky living up here." I'm like, dude, if you have steak every day, every once in a while you want a cheeseburger. I'm sick of this place. I want to leave. Okay, it's just like it's horrible. Come in here, spend a couple months in December and January, then tell me what you think of the place. It's horrible.
Yeah. All right. Anybody check out the Daredevil
Yes.
series?
That wasn't the last episode, was it?
Yeah, it was season finale.
So they just basically left it open for a second season.
Right.
Yep, that's what it was. Wow.
But they didn't skimp on the Punisher action. Boy, he was just he did not screw around.
All right. I had to get rid of a bot over on Twitch.
Yeah, the implausible dude.
Yeah. It's always the same thing. It's like, you want to buy viewers? No, that's against policies. I don't want to buy bots to watch me. No thanks. So stupid.
Yeah, but
Wow.
Henry, he made his money. I'm sure he's still getting residual checks on it to this day. So good for him.
Ah. Alrighty then.
But anyway.
Anyways, no, but like I said, the new, without spoiling too much, I'll just say the Punisher, I thought was a little bit nerfed considering that he has a whole arsenal of weapons and didn't bring it into the fight. So, over cocky a little bit. But, man, Daredevil is building an army. Where have we heard that before? And the Chip Zdarsky series, we had to go against the Hand. So, but I gotta say, if you were curious about this whole entire series, as far as like you're like, okay, is Wilson Fisk gonna be like great in this? Are they gonna nerf him? My God, this last issue, what he does to a guy's head, I'll just say that.
Yep.
You need to check this series out. Because even Breen and I talked about it for a couple episodes. It was I'm not Daredevil because he was just not being Daredevil because what happens to somebody close to him and he blamed himself. And I was like, oh, I don't want this. I don't want to suffer through a whole entire season of this. Nope. He does. It's my spoiler. He puts a costume on. We get Daredevil. The only problem I have is Daredevil, you're blind. I understand that. But shave your freaking face so people don't realize it's just you under the mask. The freaking goatee.
Well, yeah, I mean that's I was saying this earlier. The whole with him with the heavy beard and then the heavy thing on the. It's like, dude, they're gonna know it's you.
Maybe he's just thinking. Maybe he's counting the fact that he is blind, and they won't assume it's him. That's like the Superman with the glasses.
Yeah,
slouch. I know, but I'm like, this is a live action TV series. You gotta put some logic into it a little bit.
Yeah, and
no. But Jackson, no, yeah, the Daredevil. Are you starting the Netflix series or are you starting the Born Again? Because we're talking about Born Again.
I like the Netflix series. The Netflix one was.
But
the Punisher Netflix series was awesome.
Yeah, except for the second season. That second season was just boring.
That fight scene at the beginning, though, was the second season was awesome.
Yes. I really want them to bring back Luke Cage and Danny Rand for this next season of Daredevil Born Again.
Why don't they get somebody else to play Danny Rand?
Nope. I want all the original Netflix back. And you guys you don't like him because what? Because he wasn't trained in time.
Social media told him not to.
Yeah,
And he was a whiny little bitch. In Kunlun, it was this. In Kunlun, it was this. And it's like, okay, dude. You know,
but that's his character, though. You can't blame the actor. That's the character. Danny Rand's like that in the comic books. Am I incorrect, Breen? Is Danny not like that in the comic books?
It was in the beginning.
Yeah. So people are didn't like the hippie version where he's not wearing any shoes, he's walking around barefoot and stuff. I mean, that's his character, you know. And if anything, they toned it down because if you did the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon with Drake Bell, the Danny Rand in there was very into he was very like David Carradine's character in Kung Fu. But yeah, so honestly, I towards the end of that series on Netflix, the Iron Fist, that was awesome. Him and Beecham or whatever his name is. Yeah,
train him.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They did not give him enough time to train.
That's They said he was teaching him the stuff like 5 minutes before he was supposed to go out on screen and stuff.
So it's like I don't blame the actor. I blame the studio. And then of course the trainer comes out. So it's like, oh no, he didn't want to do the training. It's like you give him freaking 5 minutes, bro. So I don't know. Regardless of the whole dispute, I thought he did well. And as the series went on, progress did pretty good. Him and Ward, their relationship, their friendship was awesome. Yeah. Iron Fist used to wear yellow slippers. So like, I hope he puts the costume on with the green, and he has the pop yellow color, and then he has give him the Daredevil mask with the green though, and then the slits. Like I want that. I want the yellow. I want the classic costume. You know, I don't want a leather version of it like Daredevil has. Give me the spandex, bro. But anyway, though, curious to see what happens as far as the next season, as far as with Bullseye being free now. Which side is he going to choose in the whole gang?
Are they actually going to start calling him Bullseye?
Hey, maybe they will. If he puts
I don't think they called him once in that whole.
Oh, he hasn't. Did he have? He had a costume, but did he have like the bullseye target on his forehead?
They just kept calling him Poindexter the whole time.
Yeah, Lester, whatever his name is. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, the series, the fighting has been pretty good. I've been enjoying it. With Punisher and everything was a little bit let down a little bit, but bring back Colleen Wing. Bring back Misty Knight. You know. And here's the only thing I have an issue with and this is a Marvel issue overall. You're gonna build the MCU thing. Where's Spider-Man and all this? There should be a mention of Spider-Man swinging around, you know, because with all this chaos going in that final episode, there should have been some reference of Spider-Man vigilantes. They didn't mention them once, and I don't. That's on Feige and Marvel. Like they're not. It's like you're not allowed to mention him or something for some reason.
I don't even know if he'd qualify for a vigilante because he's got Avengers, status.
Yeah. But I mean, he's still a street level hero going around saving people, stopping crime and stuff. You know, it's like.
Okay, then you can make a Moon Knight. He's
Where's Moon Knight? Yeah, Moon Knight's a vigilante. But I want more swordsmen. Give me a swordsman show. I want Hawkeye season 2. That's what I want. So anyway, I like the original Iron Fist created by Roy Thomas and Gil Kane, but I like John Byrne's version. You're not muted. He never changed design, just Byrne's art.
No, it's just I'm not selling because I'm bored. I'm dealing with money.
I know, but you're blowing into the microphone. So blowing it pretty loud there. Anyway, though, but we're probably gonna wrap it up around here. Hey, what's up, MK? He says, bring back Jennifer Garner. Yeah,
they did.
Yeah, I mean, I always say this, Jennifer Garner. I used to look at her different light because how Ben Affleck is of. but she's just as kooky as the rest of them. But anyway, though, I think we'll end it here, though. And unless there's any other subjects they want to talk about on the panel or in the chat here, too. I mean, I don't want to drag this on too much. I know Jess wants to go rest his knee or move around.
Got to elevate it.
Yep. Deadpool Wolverine, but I mean, in this new Electra series, as someone would be cool. No, they actually are bringing it. The showrunners are talking. They said, they're thinking about bringing back Elodie Young back, that Electra, and the whole thing with Heather Glenn, and bringing in Electra would be kind of interesting too. So, but yeah, there's more street level heroes. That's what I want. I don't want Daredevil just leading. I got a bunch of ragtag citizens. No, I want some actual street level Marvel heroes. So, Henry Guillermo's run on Power Man and Iron Fist, I enjoyed that, and I like that. Cool. But alrighty then. But Brand, you got anything else?
No, I'm good.
You're good with ending it here now, I guess.
But unless MK wants to come on, so you can keep going, because it seems like you're kind of in the mood. But I'm just not feeling real well right now.
I'm kind of like, I want to watch the final episode of Bosch.
Well, have you seen the last? Have you seen the 9th one?
I saw the 9th one. I just got to watch the one with Maggie Q.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Ballard though. That's coming out this summer, so it's like in the Titus Welliver appearance on there too. I thought we were getting his brother-in-law putting up in not his brother-in-law, but his half brother.
Yeah.
In this series, they had mentioned and rumored him. He's going to show up. Maybe he's going to show up in Ballard.
Could be.
But if you're wondering who I'm talking about, Bosch's half brother was the Lincoln lawyer. Yeah. And did Eric decide between Talking Heads and REM?
No, never did.
I'll just say this: I like a few songs from Talking Heads, and same with REM. I wouldn't say one's better than the other, because I'm not a big fan of either one of them. But I do like some of their songs.
I am a big fan of both of them, and I can't decide. So
why should you have to decide? You like both.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be different if you didn't like one and you like the other one, But congrats to your team, Henry. Mine didn't make it, but they went out with a win. Speaking of baseball, the one dude got ejected. The Nationals pitcher, so it's a 3-day suspension for throwing that fastball at the Pirates batter. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. I guess it was on last night or the night before. The Pirates versus.
Yeah, I know Lopez got 3 games and Martinez got 2.
Yeah.
See the play.
Oh, the ball, he ducked and the ball went skidded right past his head. So he threw it twice. He threw twice at him. Then there was another dude who got hit in the chin. And you could see the blood was just coming out, and they're taking it. What's funny is the umps come up and they're like, "Oh, here's a towel," and he sets it down in the dirt, and he picks up, "Here, go." Put it. I'm like, "What the heck?" Yeah. Cool that Ovechkin beat the goal scoring record from Gretzky. One of those records I thought would never be broken. So, wow. So somebody beat Gretzky's record.
Yeah, Alex Ovechkin.
Wow. Nice. As far as comic book hangout, unless E decides to go live, I'm kind of talked out tonight.
Yeah, I'll either go back to Paradise or Ted Lasso.
I'm not in Minnesota. I'm in Wisconsin. Screw Minnesota. No one likes the Vikings or the Twins. But all right, though. We're going to end it right here. If you guys want to support the channel, you can do it a couple different ways. You can go to ko-fi.com/puppeting if you want to help out the channel. You can also drop down then there. But if you also want to just do, you could also do. We accept super chats. If you want to do it financially, understand that you don't have to. It's just nice, gesture. You can also leave a comment down below after the stream, which basically just leave a comment. So you can say hello, or you can just talk about what books we showed off tonight and what your favorites were, or whatever. Helps with the algorithm. Also, share this stream out on your socials or with your friends, stuff. The word out. I believe we're at 950 subs. I think. Last I checked. Let me check here. We lost a subscriber. Okay, that's kind of cool. We're at 949 now, but we were at 950, so we're 51 subscribers away from being monetized here, with ad revenue. So that's kind of cool. So subscribe, hit the notification bell, click like, all that fun stuff. If you're watching us over on Twitch, where we also stream at Geeky Puppet Show, that is the URL for both channels, YouTube and Twitch. So we'll see you guys tomorrow with 2 readings, starting around 8 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern is the first reading. Next one will be around 9:25 Eastern. There is nothing happening on Sunday night except for we'll be uploading some live stuff, readings or uploading pre-recorded because Sunday is Easter, so there won't be any live streams, but there will be some pre-recorded stuff guys can watch, at your leisure. That's pretty much about it. I don't have a hockey team. I only like hockey when they fight. I don't have any loyalty to any team. The only thing that's in Milwaukee is the Admirals, and I've seen maybe 2 Admiral games my whole entire life. I just never was really into it, But I mean, I don't know. It's when it comes to the sports, I like it better when they just they rush the field and they just start fighting, Although there's a new sport I did see that sits out. They have, it's called ice football. Have you heard of this, Breen?
No.
2 teams are you're in a skating rink, like a hockey rink, like that, and they're throwing a ball back and they just get a goal. The whole point is to throw it kind of like rugby, throw it, pass around, and score touchdowns.
MK, answer Venkman's cry for help. Get on here.
No, I'm leaving. But no, it's just because they keep asking questions. That's why. I want to be nice. So, all right. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you, kids.
See ya.